But let's move on and let's discuss what's happening with the currency market. We've got Naveen Mathur joining in on the show right now from Anand Rathi to talk about exactly that. Naveen, hi, morning. Good to have you on the show. Naveen, tell us what is it that you're penciling in terms of the currency, and do you sense that the pressure because of the stronger dollar is here to stay for the rupee?
Thank you very much, and good morning to you and the viewers too. I think what we have seen over the last couple of days has been largely because of the dollar. After the U.S. elections, the president-elect Donald Trump has announced certain policy measures which would be positive for the dollar index, and therefore the dollar has appreciated largely from the downside we have seen in the last few months at around 104 levels or so to even touching beyond 107. Currently, it is at around 106.47. Now, that's one of the major impact, which is taking the rupee on the depreciative side against the dollar. The rupee touched an all-time low yesterday also at around 84.70, and the spot today is quoting at around 84.74 or so. Now, the second aspect relates to the definite GDP numbers. The GDP numbers which came up for quarter two, which is July-September quarter, for this year has been pretty much below the expectation, 5.4%. As far as the numbers, the realistic numbers are concerned, announced by the government last week. So I think that is something also which is impacting, I would say, the good stand on the India part of the story. The FIIs have been pretty much aggressive in buying over the last 1 or 2 years for India. The India was looking and is particularly still looking very positive. But then as far as the global economics are concerned, the geopolitical scenario is concerned, the question marks have arisen because of those impacts for India. We also see the Chinese yuan depreciating. 7.31 is something where it is quoting right now against the US dollar. I think 7.33 and 34 levels are pretty strong levels for the Chinese yuan to test. Overall perception is that the rupee might continue to an extent 85 levels or so, where the RBI might get into intervention. They might be intervening because we've seen the dollar reserves at the RBI, which was in the end of September at around $705 billion, and now standing at around $657 billion. So I think the overall perspective, therefore, is little much negative for the rupee, keeping the geopolitical scenario, the world economics and other things. The India story still remains resilient. And we feel that the rupee would therefore be around 84.50 to 84.75 kind of levels. The RBI would not like the rupee to go beyond 84.75 or so. So the BRICS news also has kind of impacted the rupee yesterday. We have seen 21 paisa depreciation yesterday itself in a day. And I think all those factors are currently impacting the rupee against the dollar.
So, but Naveen, given the weakness in the currency and a long patch at that, do you sense RBI intervention anytime soon?
So it's always a guess game, you never know. But then, as far as the forex reserves are concerned, as I said earlier, they have come down from $705 billion where they stood in the end of September. We are currently at around 657 billion dollars. So I think that the RBI intervention definitely is taking up, means they are intervening in the markets, but they're not intervening aggressively to hold the rupee depreciation. We also need to understand that the competitiveness on the exports are dependent upon the depreciative rupee against the dollar. So if the rupee depreciates, it helps the exports and in fact helps therefore the current account figures and other things. But I think the depreciation The big depreciation would also not be in the interest of the country because we are importers for crude and the other energy products. So therefore, it will be a kind of wait and watch. But as it seems, honestly, there has been intervention, but not an aggressive intervention by the RBI.
Okay, point taken. Thanks so much, Naveen, for making time and speaking with us today. So that's the latest coming in as far as the currency action is concerned. Definitely quite a bit of weakening of the rupee, very close to that 85 mark now. Let's.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.